Hey Zach, here's a guide for you hopefully on how to like kind of quickly and easily set up some of the stuff for your computer. I don't know what Alex has done or what he hasn't, but hopefully this will take less than 10 or 15 minutes and will help you optimize the experience of playing on the computer so it feels similar or if not better to playing on your Xbox. So first thing to do if you haven't already is to make sure your display is set up correct in the computer. So go to the bottom here where it says search, open up the settings, display, display settings. I have two monitors, you're going to have one, so don't worry about this. What you're going to do is scroll down to display resolution. You're going to select 2560 by 1440 if that's an option. That's standard 2K. If that's not an option because you have a 1080 monitor, where is it? Where is it? Select 1920 times 1080. So again, you should either be what's selected right now in light gray, 256 times 140 or times 1440. If not that, go to 1920 times 1080. There's a lot of other resolutions for specialty monitors that's not applicable to us, so don't click any of those. And there'll probably be a recommended. Click is likely going to be what is highlighted as recommended. Once that you have your display resolution set correctly, go to Advanced Display and you are going to want to go to where it says change refresh rate. You are going to want to select the highest refresh rate you can without downgrading your settings, without downgrading your display resolution. This monitor is like just a super cheap monitor that I bought just for like when I'm not gaming and I need to work at my desk. So if I were to hit 75 hertz, it would downgrade my display from 2K to 1080. Um, but generally speaking, you want to select the highest hertz possible. From there, we're going to go into Steam. Go to where it says Steam in this upper left. Click on Settings. Go to In-Game. Go down to where it says Show Performance Monitor. We want it to be, you can put it wherever you want. I find the top left to be the most out of the way. It's going to be off by default, so hit top left. Um, Performance detail, FPS single value. You don't want all this other stuff. You don't care. Trust me. Text scaling, you can put it where you want. I like having a little bit bigger so it's a little bit easier to read, but it's up to you. Once you have those things done, you're going to want to go to Wreckfest. So you search Wreckfest in your games, Wreckfest 2, start. I already have it running, so we don't have to wait through the startup process. And it's going to open looking something like this. This game is in early access, so it's about half off, or 100% free in your case. But they're still loading things like these icons here are blank because the game's not like a final full release, and hence why it's not on Xbox yet. You're gonna want to go to options, adjust settings, go to graphics. First thing you want to do, if it's not already, change your window mode to full screen. Make sure this resolution that you set here matches what we changed in the settings. So 22,560 times 1440 hertz. That's 2K, and that matches. There's other options for weird displays. Make sure they match. You don't want them to be out of order. Go to VSync, turn that off. And then if you don't know your graphics preset that you should use, which you don't because you're still learning, which is a-okay, go to medium. Once you've made those changes, hit the back button, and then you can see here's the FPS counter at the top left. Our goal is to stay at or above 60 at all times. I'm assuming you have a 60 hertz monitor. If you have something like 120, then maybe you shoot for a little higher. But really, we're trying to stay above 60. So we're going to go to play. You want to run a race or the first few laps of a race so you can have an understanding of what your graphics are. It is going to take a few times. This is going to take 10 minutes of your time plus watching the video and setting it up correctly, which I understand is a little more annoying compared to Xbox. If you were ever really into computer gaming, there's like a flip side where you can really optimize it perfectly in a way that you can't with Xbox, but I know that's not fully the situation with you. So we loaded in Mud Media, we're gonna hit start, and we're gonna keep an eye on the number in the upper left. Like you can see it drop to 57 for a second. That's normal when you load in a game, it's gonna drop, but you really want to keep that number, like just watch the number in the upper left. It's going to be the hardest on the graphics at the start of the race because it's trying to render all 24 cars in the mud and the tracks. Um, so it's saying about 100. And again, I would do about a lap. And just really kind of see it. Now that we're ahead of all those cars, and now there's just 3 cars, we're up to about 140 FPS. So it's gonna, if it's like maybe 45 or 50 at the start and jumps up to a constant 70, that's no problem. But you really want to keep it above 60 FPS, or it's gonna feel really slow and juddery, and it can even, in severe cases, kind of make you feel motion sick. And that's just gonna give you a really negative experience that I know that you won't find enjoyable. So you really want to try to keep that FPS above 60. So now we did a lap. We saw it was like at 140 probably. We want to make sure that's a little high. Like we have some room to improve our graphics because I'm assuming you and in this case me, we are limited to like all our monitor will do is 60 FPS. We're really shooting for the number up here being around 80. That gives us some buffer, so when there's a big crash, or if you hit a wall of tires and tires go flying, that's hard on the GPU, and you want to have some overhead, so if it drops from 80 to 60, that's no problem. But dropping from 140 to 120 when we're capped at 60 doesn't really do us any favors. And again, the GPU will render as much frames as it can, hence why I'm saying 260, but the monitor itself will only put out 60. Other monitors will do higher. My main gaming monitor puts out 120. Um, some monitors will like do 244 frames per second. It just makes the game feel a little bit smoother. So what we're gonna do, we went to settings, we went back to graphics, and we're gonna go to high. We're gonna bump it up a preset from medium to high. We're gonna back out again. We're gonna hit play, and make sure you try to load the same challenge that we were just doing. And you can do other challenges, anything you want to do. But you just kind of we're just benchmarking the performance of the graphics card at the settings we have. And again, we're just trying to keep it above 60 FPS. So you can see right now we're sitting around 80 at the start. And again, that's to be expected. There's a crap ton of cars. And as the herd starts to slim down ever so slightly, our FPS is ever so slightly starting to go back up. Now I have a pretty high-end graphics card in my computer, so it's not you're not going to really see it dip down. I'm playing at 2K because my graphics card is designed for 4K. Um, but you get the process of watching the numbers in the upper left and making sure this stays above 60. It might take a few rounds of going in races and adjusting. Um, and if you find something you're happy with, you can totally leave it there. If you find that you want to fine tweak it, that's what all those settings in there are for. So you can like completely optimize things if you want to, not that you need to by any means. Let's close Wreckfest. I want to show you one other thing. I'm going to send you a video on how to use the game bar. I tried to record it, but the way the game bar works is an overlay, and I don't know how to record it. But I will send you that. I'm trying to think of anything else I can tell you now. I was going to show you something, but I actually think the game bar video will explain it better. But hopefully that explains how to set your display resolution on your computer, how to set your FPS on the computer, and how to set your settings in RecFest, and kind of how to benchmark them. Ideally, um, you do this, like it should only take a few minutes, like when you load up a game the first time. And while I showed you this for RecFest, this is true for any game. You always kind of want to go through this process. It'll be really quick once you understand what you're doing and do it a few times. And some games specifically have a benchmarking feature where they will load a scene that's very hard on the GPU, so you can optimize your stuff for that. Any questions, let me know, let your brother know, let Garrett know. We all are more happy to explain. Hopefully this video made sense. It wasn't too rambly. I look forward to playing with you tonight. You catch you later. Bye.